everybody. Welcome back to One True Collector. You have found the place for collecting stuff. Doesn't matter what you like to collect. If you're into collecting baseball cards, music memorabilia, movie memorabilia, television stuff, military memorabilia, antiques, classic cars. It really doesn't matter what you like collecting. If you like collecting something or enjoy cool collectibles, this is the place for you. We're filming here in the music room of the One True Collector Museum, and today is, by request, our very first Seattle music episode. So we'll be showing you a bunch of Seattle music memorabilia, and as we were preparing to shoot this, a few different things happened to kind of influence which direction it was going. There's so much local collectible stuff here in our collection that it was almost impossible to decide where to start. Well, there's been a bunch of new releases from one of our all-time favorite bands, HEIR APPARENT. They're a metal band from the 80s here in Seattle that is back together and re-releasing some old material and getting ready to put some new stuff out. And there's a bunch of new stuff coming out from them, like I said, so that kind of influenced our decision. Some brand new stuff just came in. We'll have an unboxing of a brand new thing that just came in from Greece, as well as some local reissues, and a bunch of their vintage stuff as well. We're having a giveaway of an R.I.P t-shirt, so stick around later and listen how to get in on that. So I almost don't even know where to start. There's so much stuff here, so let's just dig in and look at a few things that have been out for quite a while. We'll start by taking a look at a bunch of HEIR APPARENT CDs and DVDs. So we've got a big stack of those right here. This first one is the Inception Day CD. This is a demo that was recorded at Triad. It was the very early days of HEIR APPARENT. It's got And Dogro Lived On, Keeper of the Rain, Nightmare Faces in the Dark, Tear Down the Walls, and The Servant. It's a really cool disc. Back to the original lineup, a bunch of great songs that they recorded, early versions, demo versions, before they recorded them for the Graceful Inheritance LP. So that's a great one there. This one is the CD release of One Small Voice with vocalist Steve Benito. And this was originally released on vinyl, but it was also re-released here on CD, and it's a very cool CD. And of course it includes a bonus disc of the Live at the Riviera show on DVD. One of the things that makes this an exceptionally awesome release. Here is one of the myriad CD releases of the Graceful Inheritance LP. This is the one that has Paul Davidson on vocals, the original LP that kind of really launched them in the international spotlight. It features Tomorrow Night and We the People that you won't find on any of the other releases. This is a great version on CD. We'll look at some LPs of that later as well. Here's a double disc. This has the HEIR APPARENT Live at the Moore Theater on one side and the Eindhoven show at the Dynamo Club on the other side. It's a cool double disc. I don't know if it's normally packaged this way, but we have it packaged as a double disc. And I think they're usually released individually. Both really cool live DVDs, rare footage. Both of these are with the original lineup. Next we have the Triad demo CD. This is again a package of demos done a little bit later on with the second lineup with Steve Benito. Really cool disc, lots of great songs on there, some wonderful recordings. It's a really good one to have in your collection. I would recommend this to anyone if you're shopping around on the HEIR APPARENT website, which you'll find in the comment section below. Then I would go ahead and pick this one up along with some of these other ones. Next, this is a live DVD filmed at the Wacken 2000 Open Air Festival with one of the reunion lineups of HEIR APPARENT. Really awesome DVD disc. And finally, another live DVD. This one was filmed in 2006. Pretty cool one. I picked that one up if you get the chance. That's a really good one. So next, I'd like to take a look at some HEIR APPARENT vinyl. And we'll move on to taking a look at that and some other rare stuff. So we've got a few different things here. Let's start with some copies of the original release of Graceful Inheritance. This particular one is a sealed copy. I don't think you're going to see a sealed copy of the original Black Dragon Records release of Graceful Inheritance very often. It's a very cool record. I bought two at Tower Records when it first came out because I knew that I was going to play the grooves off the first one. Well, you know, the first one still sounds great, so I have not had the opportunity to open this one yet, and I may not ever. So that's the very first one there. And here is the opened copy of the Graceful Inheritance LP on Black Dragon Records. This one has some really cool stuff inside. As you can see, it has a really nice inner jacket with some really cool artwork. The back is pretty cool. And this one also contains a merchandise sheet that I got at the St. Martin's Pavilion show, and also a couple of hand-signed Air Force letters from the Heir Apparent Air Force, their fan club, hand-signed by Terry Gorel, the lead guitar player. Very, very cool stuff, so I'm glad to have a copy of this. And again, like I said, I practically burned the grooves off of this one because it's on our turntable all the time. Next, we have the original issue of the One Small Voice LP. This is the first one with Steve Benito. Inside this copy is an Air Force newsletter. There was a press release about One Small Voice, as well as some other lineup changes related to the demos I'll be showing you here in just a moment. Again, I just like everything that they've ever put out, so if you ever have the chance to pick this up at a used record store, I'd say go for it. Now we're going to get into some of the really cool stuff that has just come out. So I just received the 30th anniversary issue of Graceful Inheritance from Northwest Metalworks Records. Northwest Metalworks is a really cool local reissue label. If you'd like to learn more about them and order some of those records, including this brand new release of the Heir Apparent Graceful Inheritance, you can find a link to their website here in the comment section below. This one, as you can see, is number 3 out of 500 hand-numbered copies. It came with a Heir Apparent promo photo. And again, it's got some really cool stuff inside. It's got this lyric sheet, nice inner jacket. It's a very cool record on colored vinyl, so that's a really cool one. Well, we're talking about Northwest Metalworks. They're putting out a book on local metal. Northwest Metalworks, the guys who have the label, they're also great historians on local music. They're putting out a book on local music. The book is called Rusted Metal, A History of Heavy Metal and Hard Rock in the Northwest. They've been doing a lot of interviews and putting together some oral history, and that book is going to feature all of these bands you see here, pretty much all of the great local Northwest metal and rock bands, as well as one of our local favorites, R.I.P., who's featured in the giveaway here a little bit later. If you want to learn more about R.I.P. or any Seattle metal band, pick up the new book coming out from Northwest Metalworks. As long as we're talking about the label, this is the LP from Exeter. They were a band back in the day that some tragedy befell, but they were a really cool band that I think was going places. As you can see, this is an awesome album on white vinyl. It's got some cool inserts. You can get this on their website, so go to northwestmetalworks.com and pick this up. I promised you an unboxing. This just came in from Greece, and this is another new release from Heir Apparent. So I'm going to go ahead and get this opened up, and we'll show you what's inside. We'll see what's inside together here. So, this is the Heir Apparent Foundations record, and it looks like they sent a couple of advertisements for other stuff here in the front. But this is a triple LP on green vinyl, and let's see what's inside. So it looks like they've got some advertisements for a bunch of different new stuff. Lots of really cool death metal and really hardcore stuff from Floga Records. So when you do pick up this album, they'll probably send you some of these if you want as well. Floga Records, you can find them in the comment section below as well. Take a look for their website. So there's the Heir Apparent Foundations LP. Let's pull this out of the sleeve and see what we've got. And it's a triple gatefold, it looks like. And looks like the albums are actually not in the sleeves the way they ship it here. which is fine by me. It's a little bit easier access for us. Awesome cover work. So this contains the original 1983 Nemesis demo. It also includes the Inception Day demo that I showed you there, as well as some of the Triad demos. Really cool record from Floga. One of the great new Heir Apparent releases. Just so awesome. I can't wait to play this. So I've heard some of these demos. I haven't heard the Nemesis demo myself, so that's the first side I'm going to put on. It is side 1 and side 2, so that's going to be the first record I spin out of this, but I'm going to play the whole thing here as soon as we get done filming. Now, as long as we're on recorded media, here's another couple huge rarities. This is the 1990 Heir Apparent Shakin' It Up demo. It's got Shakin' It Up, Sweet City Child, Matter Over Mind, and When Will the Morning Come. So this represented another lineup shift for Heir Apparent, and so it's pretty cool. You know, it's a real rarity. As far as I know, this is not released on any other media other than this demo cassette. So there you go, 1990 Heir Apparent Shakin' It Up demo. And last but not least, single song Heir Apparent Alone Again demo tape with their manager's card in the back. Happen to know their manager, so I got a copy of that back in the day. So there's some really cool stuff. And now you're in for a real treat. This Heir Apparent shirt that was customized in the 80s, this is with the Steve Benito lineup. It was purchased at the St. Martin's Pavilion show on July 4th, back in the day in the mid-80s. And there was some other cool bands at that show, Diamond Lie, who eventually went on to be Alice in Chains, Slaughterhouse 5, which had members that went on to be in Black is Black and Sleep Capsule and a few other cool bands. There was going to be, Hammerhead was going to play that show, but their drummer broke his back, unfortunately. We'll show you some other Hammerhead stuff in another episode. And of course, Heir Apparent headlined the show. One of the reasons why I have all those CDs that you saw is because I made acquaintance of Terry Gorel, and the lead guitar player from Heir Apparent, and I happen to actually have a copy of the video from that St. Martin's Pavilion show that I had saved for years and years in the archives. And for some reason, that's one of the very few he didn't have a copy of. So we were able to share that with him so he could put that in the official Heir Apparent archives. In any case, rare t-shirt. But it gets even rarer from here. We got a lot of requests when we showed the stage-worn costume pieces from R.I.P. and the stage-used props to show more stage-used collectibles from other bands. So it happened to be that back in the day, I made friends with Paul Davidson, the original lead singer from Heir Apparent. He was sort of a mentor to me back in the day and treated me really cool. Really well for being just a kid, and they were a big rock band and like gods in my eyes at the time. A friend and I had fourth row seats to this 1986 New Year's Eve show produced by Thunder and the Winds, the Rockers Ball, headlining Heir Apparent. And Paul even gave us backstage passes to this show, and we got to go backstage and hang out with them. What an amazing thing for anybody, especially a rocker kid of my age at the time. And I happened to remake his acquaintance again recently, and knowing how huge of a fan I was, he treated me to some extremely rare collectibles. This is a stage-worn shirt worn by Paul Davidson. In several Heir Apparent shows. You can in fact see it in one of the live videos, and you can actually find songs from that show on YouTube here if you do a search, and he's wearing this very shirt. So very cool, collectible, stage-worn piece of gear from Paul Davidson. And at the time that he gave that to me, he also gave me this extremely rare handmade banner from their European tour that was given to them by some fans. So it's now in the One True Collector Museum archives. And there's a great story behind this. So the fans had heard that they did a really cool cover of Victim of Changes, the old Judas Priest song, held it up during the show. They actually ended up at another show not too much later playing Victim of Changes for the very fans who made this banner. So that's a very cool piece there. So that's about all the Heir Apparent stuff. Today I am wearing a shirt from another local Seattle band that I like a whole lot, Coven. They were ever at recording artist that is back together again as well. This is from their second album tour, Death Walks Behind You. Very cool, extremely rare shirt. One of many Coven shirts in my collection because they're one of my favorite bands of all time. Really cool shirt. Coven was always one for having really awesome shirts, so there's a huge amount of Coven stuff in our collection as well. As long as we're speaking of shirts, I'm going to go ahead and change shirts with a little bit of editing magic. Now I'm wearing an R.I.P. Back from the Grave tour shirt. As you guys know, R.I.P. is one of my favorite local bands, and you know why. They're a band from the 80s on through to the present that's a cool environmental, heavy metal, theatrical band. This particular shirt is produced by Cemental Underground for the band and for Revolutionary Records. If you'd like to know more about Cemental Underground, they're a cool t-shirt company and sign company. They make all sorts of funny t-shirts, cool rock shirts, signs, and graphics and stickers. In the description section below, you can find a link to their Facebook page to learn more about them. So the Back from the Grave tour shirt was released for R.I.P. at the beginning of the 2013 Back from the Grave tour, which I believe they are still on. And if you'd like to win one of these shirts, feel free to subscribe to the video, comment on the video, and like the video. We'll roll a set of percentile dice as we usually do and determine the number of likes that the video has when we pick one of the subscribed commenters from the section below on YouTube. And we'll be sending you a shirt. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us on our very first Seattle local music episode featuring HEIR Apparent and others. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Keep collecting!